Chapter 1, Section 1 and 2. Alright, we're going to be talking about the 5 themes of geography. Geography is the study of the distribution and interactions of physical and human features on the Earth. There are going to be 5 key features we're focusing on: location, place, region, human environment and interaction, and movement. Location. Location has 2 different types of location that we're going to look at. You have absolute location, which is the exact place on Earth where a geographic feature is found. That can be anything like a city, for example, Mobile, Huntsville, or you can even pick a place like the University of South Alabama. Relative location is going to describe a place in comparison to other places around it. So you might say that Mobile is located near the beach. Alright, absolute location. The Earth is divided into 2 equal halves. Each one of these halves is called a hemisphere. There are 4 different types of hemispheres. You have the northern hemisphere, the southern hemisphere, and then the eastern and western hemisphere. Alright, now when you're looking at the hemispheres, you have the equator, which is going to divide your northern and southern hemispheres with an imaginary line, and your prime meridian. That is going to actually divide your eastern and western hemispheres. Alright, when you look at the prime meridian, there's actually a really cool fact about it. It runs through this small town in Greenwich, England, which they're very proud of. And this is actually a picture of the building that you can go in and visit. Alright, you have latitude and longitude when you're talking about your equators and your hemispheres as well as your world maps. Latitude, these are the lines that locate places north and south, and they run parallel to the equator. Longitude locates your east and west by running around the Earth, so they're long ways. These lines are used to locate points on a map. Each line is assigned a number of degrees. For example, Mobile, Alabama has a longitude of 30 degrees north, and it's a latitude of 88 degrees west. Alright, so we are going to watch this little video real quick.
Makers draw imaginary lines on maps and globes. Some of these lines are long, and they go all the way from the bottom of a map to the top. These long lines are called lines of longitude. Other lines are flat and go sideways. These flat lines are called lines of latitude. The Earth's equator is a line of latitude. It is an imaginary line which divides the northern part of the planet, or hemisphere, with the southern part of the planet, or southern hemisphere. The prime meridian is a line of longitude. It goes up and down. It is the starting line for all of the other lines of longitude. These lines of latitude and longitude have numbers and directions, so we can pinpoint an exact location.
So here's your quiz. Make sure you write down your answers, and we'll take them at the end of class. In which 2 hemispheres is the United States located? And your second question is going to be, what are the 5 themes of geography? So I'll give you a minute to write down your answers. Alright, is everybody done? Alright, let's look at our answers. Alright, the answer is the United States is located in the northern and eastern hemisphere, and the 5 themes of geography are location, place, region, human environment, interaction, and movement. Alright, what is it like? What is it like refers to the geography theme of a place. Places can include physical and cultural characteristics. A location's culture and the use of space can change with time, so the description of a place can change over time as well. There are two different types of features that we look at when we look at a place: physical features and cultural features. Physical features include your climate, your landforms, and your vegetation. Your cultural features are going to include your highways, houses, and buildings of things like dams and structures. How are places alike or different refers to the geographical theme region. Region normally have similar characteristics that unify them. They can be physical, political, economic, or cultural. Regions are formed into three different groups. You have formal regions, functional regions, and perceptual regions. Formal regions, this is defined as a limited number of related characteristics. The characteristics that are looked at are similar in continental area. This includes climate, vegetation, and land use patterns. It can also be similar cultural styles. An example of this is the United States and Canada are formal regions, as well as Africa is a formal region within itself. All right, functional regions. Functional regions is defined by the organization around a set of interactions and connections between places. Functional regions are characterized by a central hub or central place that links them together. A lot of times when we think of this, we think of a city and their suburbs. You can get back and forth from them between things like a subway station, a railroad, highways, or even a bus route. Perceptual regions is a region in which people see the characteristics of a region in the same way. The characteristics may not be the same for all people. An example of this is some people are familiar with the regions in the United States that we call the Midwest. Some think the Midwest starts in Ohio, and some think it starts in the middle of Illinois. Another characteristic is the way people view maybe California. Everybody thinks it's beaches, sunny, and you've got your movie stars, where others think of it as you've got your vineyards for wine. All right, so here's your second quiz. For the geographical theme place, name two of the three physical features and what connects functional regions together. Now I'll give you a moment to put your answers down, and then we'll go over the answers. All right, has everybody got it? All right, the three physical features we talked about were climate, landforms, and vegetation. And a central place or hub connects the two areas for them to be a functional region. There are several examples of these: subways, railroads, highways, bus routes, and more. All right, the question, how do people relate to the physical world, refers to the geography theme, human environment and interaction. People learn to use the environment, or learn to use what the environment gives them, and to change it to benefit their needs. We can change the environment for better or worse. Sometimes you might have a swampland and you decide you want to place a mall there. Well, you could have endangered species there that you have eliminated, but you have a great mall. So we can harm the environment as well as help it. All right. The question, how do people, goods, and items move from one location to another, refers to the geographic theme of movement. There are three types of distance: linear, time, and psychological. An example of this is going to be how do the cars we drive or the clothes we wear, how do they get to us? They don't just make it to the lots magically or make it to the stores. They actually have to travel from other areas to get to us. All right, linear distance. This refers to how far across the earth a person, product, or idea has to travel. Sometimes land or water can prevent a certain route of travel, so the distance can vary from different times of the year or to place to place. All right, time distance. The amount of time it takes for a person, product, or idea to travel to its destination. Over time, we create new technologies and ways of travel shorten the amount of time it takes to get there. Example, airplanes and the internet. This doesn't always have to refer to a person or product. Like I said, it can refer to an idea. So where it used to take forever for a letter to get to you, you can just simply use email. Alright, psychological distance. This refers to the way people view distance. An example of this is when you're 5 and you're going to your friend's house, it might only be 10 minutes away, but you feel like it can take an hour or more. We start to view psychological difference differently as we get older with age or just your state of mind. This can influence decisions about human activities. Alright, and now we're going to cover Chapter 1, Section 2, Geographer's Tools.